All right, guys, welcome to our Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacesetter training. It's the 28th of August. I'm going to just mute whoever. Here we go. So, guys, again, welcome. I'm your host, Jenny Laurent. Currently, I'm sitting at Promoter 320. I'm in my second month in this business, and a lot of you are not far behind me. I know we've got some seasoned people and some new people. So, I'm going to kind of just give you guys a dosage of what I'm doing. And I also want to hear what you guys are doing, how we can all mastermind together and help each other out, because I'm sure that some of you guys have, the same questions, but it definitely helps to, if you've got some tips and tricks or something that's working or that's converting, or, this is really where, this is a no judgment zone. We can ask questions. There's no stupid questions. So one of the things that I always like to share is, I don't know if you guys are into reading books. Some of you I know personally, but if you guys haven't read the book, The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy, I highly recommend that book. Some of you here, are going through TIR with us, and a lot of it is understanding the sales process, because when you guys are in a business, or even as parents or even school teachers, believe it or not, you're selling. We're selling ideas to our children. We're selling education to children. We're selling ideas to our prospects. We're sharing an idea that, hey, you can have a better life. Hey, you can have a side business. You can quit your job, when you've got this thing running. Whatever it is that person wants, we need to find out what that is. Okay? Because you don't want to just go up to somebody and be like, hey, I've got this amazing business idea. And they're going to be like, yeah, I don't want to hear about it. I got too much going on. It'd be like, you want to start to know about them and what do they really want. And if this is something that can help them get there, they're going to be more apt to want to do something like this. So again, we're not just sharing a business idea with somebody where we're using this as a vehicle to get them to where they ultimately want to be. And a lot of that has to do with making money, and there's a lot of ways to make money. But there's also a lot of different companies like us that have different products. So we want to make sure, somebody resonates with what we're offering, and one of the things I like about Vive is that it's a service-based company. So we're offering services that everybody can and should use. Most of the time they don't go looking for it. I don't know a lot of people I'm thinking of doing solar. It's just really not out there, where people know what it is. They don't understand it. It's not something we recommend for new people coming to the business, but just knowing that we have the option to submit solar leads and pick up a sizable commission. I've actually been probably one of the biggest solar go-getters, in this whole company so far. But I just have a knack for learning it, and I actually want to get to the point where I'm selling it. But I'm really passionate about renewable energy, not only for its benefits on the planet, but I think we really have a unique product, and I think I did highlight a training last time on travel, which I think is great out of those 7 bundled products, because we're leading with savings. Obviously, it's a paid service, but it's one of those that's really going to save people money. Like, obviously, identity theft protection is like insurance. It's not necessarily going to save people money, but it's going to prevent them from getting, credit protection issues or, their identity stolen, and they're going to be alerted right away. Same thing with roadside. That's not saving people money, but it's providing a service when and if they end up needing roadside services. Obviously tech support, and, the Medi-Call as well, for you guys, that's the 24-hour doctor hotline. That's not necessarily saving people money either, but obviously it's going to prevent somebody from having to take the day out of work, having to pay the doctor, having to use their deductible. So everything I'm saying right now is selling points for these, because not only, when you are communicating to your prospect, you want to say, am I giving them value? A lot of people, sometimes they don't care about price. They care more about value. That's why you see people that buy expensive shoes when they could buy the same shoe or something similar for a fraction of the price. They value a brand. They value, a certain style. They'll pay more for better quality. So if you really want to communicate the value of this, if you say to somebody, let's just talk about Medi-Call for a minute here. Like I said, when I market Medi-Call, I explain to people it's a 24-hour doctor hotline, and the benefit is that, most people have an expensive deductible. It could be a couple grand. This doesn't go through your health insurance. It's $10 a month, so that if you've got small kids or elderly parents, or even you yourself get sick and it's after hours, You don't have to go to a clinic or emergency room or urgent care. You can just call the doctor, get your script, get what you need, and then you're on your way. It's not an emergency services hotline, but it's great for somebody that has, that when, again, they have themselves in a scenario where they really don't want to have to take the day out of work, and now they have to take, vacation time or unpaid leave. They don't have to pay a deductible. It's unlimited access, 24-hour service to a doctor when you need it, for prescriptions, for, colds, general wound care. And if they can't cover it through that service, they will refer you, to somebody if it's beyond the scope of our services. But again, more often than not, kids get sick. They need to go to the doctor. The mom doesn't want to have to wait, and then sometimes you can't get an appointment right away. So again, it relieves that person of the hassles of that. So again, we maximize value, we minimize the cost, because we could say for what you're paying for this for a whole year would probably, be less than what it would cost you for just one visit to that doctor, which you probably have to pay out of pocket because you didn't meet your deductible. So when we can say, hey, this is moving you away from pain and towards the pleasure of not having to do X, Y, and Z, we're positioning the service in a way that's favorable, that's valuable to them. I know I went off on a giant tangent there, but I was talking about travel, leading with travel, because the savings are greater than any of the other services that we offer. Now, the exception here is that we also offer autopilot. And I think, Alan, I don't know what state you're in, but I know that everybody else here is not in Massachusetts, and I'm out of Massachusetts. And I am luckily in one of the states that we offer autopilot. But autopilot is a unique software and a service that can help people get the guaranteed lowest rates on their electrical services. Okay. And like I said, you want to maybe try to find some business partners in this area so they can, try to dominate this type of territory. I mean, that's what this business is really all about, is you'd be like, oh man, it stinks that I'm not in that state. Well, there's a lot of people that could be marketing the business. So like I said, hop on LinkedIn, hop on Facebook, someone that knows someone that would want to be in this business. So the reason why I'm so excited about autopilot is because we don't have any competition. There is no service out there that does what we do and as effectively as we do it, that can offer the guarantees. So one of the ways that we can guarantee the lowest rates, even some that may not be publicly advertised, because any given customer is not going to have access to all the rates on the market. It's not really publicly known information. They might get something in the mail that says, hey, we're cheaper than National Grid or the utility company. But the benefit here is that, say, for example, in Massachusetts alone, if we have 300,000 customers, we could go to X supplier and say, hey, we're going to bring you all this customer volume. What's the lowest rate you can give us, because they're guaranteed to get our business. So that's how we can get the guaranteed best rate. It's called aggregation, aggregation, aggregation. So again, I like that because it's not just saying, we might be able to save you to, or most times, again, no, we're guaranteeing the best and lowest rates. We are preventing them from having to shop around every time their contract is up, or when they don't watch their bill and they get auto renewed into, a contract that now if they want to get off it because there's a cheaper rate, now they have a termination fee. So we monitor their electricity. It's worth paying for a service that's going to guarantee the savings that they're, saving more than they're paying for this. For larger corporations that use broker services and have big expensive meetings to bid on energy, again, removes all of the time and the hassle. So if you understand the process of shopping for your energy, nobody wants to do it. No one has time. Nobody feels like switching a supplier every time their contract's up, or they want to shop around. It's just not a fun, sexy service. But we take all the hassle out of that. So again, we're moving somebody away from pain towards the pleasure of saving money. The pain is the hassle. The pain is contracts and termination fees. The pain is having to do that process over and over and over again. If you guys study that 2-minute customer video, I actually asked corporate to put each video on each page so that you guys are sharing one link that has a 2-minute video that basically pitches the service, does all the talking, and then it also has, the details of the services like home secure and all of those 7 bundled services. But I'm kind of highlighting autopilot because, again, it is one of those services we are leading with savings. It is a paid service. However, again, we're relieving somebody of having to have that hassle, the frustration, and, it's just not a fun process. So why do it yourself? Why not let us do it for you? And you never have to switch ever again. So they're like, great, I like that. So again, positioning, value. Why would somebody want to do this? It just makes sense. We have to help it make sense for them, okay? Because again, everybody pays an electricity bill. So anybody in these, 6 states that we have right now, which are Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and now Maryland, we're going to be picking up more and more states. So this is a great time to try to find some business partners in these states because they're also great for solar as well. But we really want you guys focusing on the core flagship products. So for some people just joining us, I did refer you guys to a book called The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. And again, one of the things that is really going to transfer to your prospects is your level of enthusiasm. So your tonality, like you guys can hear, my voice kind of goes up and down. And, if I say I'm really excited about this versus, guys, I am really excited about this. You see the difference? I really want to emphasize, what I want to stress to my prospect. And I want to say, you know what, why am I doing this business? They want to know why are you doing it? If you guys don't really know and have it kind of roll off your tongue why you're doing it, then you want to spend some time thinking about that because you're going to want to know that for yourself when times get tough and you feel like doubting yourself and your paradigms kick in. You're going to remind yourself of why you started. Like for me, like I said, I am doing this because of the Pacesetter promotion. I want to have a quarterly check regardless of the size of my business. I believe that this company is going to launch far and fast and it's going to experience growth, judging by a company that was very similar to it with similar leadership, how quickly they grew in 9 years to almost $1 billion. So take 2% of that and split it by, say, 25 people. That's a nice paycheck, a couple $100,000. Eventually, like 5 years from now, you'll be sitting on that type of an investment. So right now, you're investing time for a delayed gratification payout that might take a couple years to accrue. And most people cannot handle doing that. So like I said, you guys are of a rare breed of people that are, maybe have a full-time job and are building this business on top of that. And you're sacrificing time and you're sacrificing things, but you know what? It's going to pay off someday. You just have to realize that, this is what entrepreneurs do. We sacrifice a little bit of time and we work a little harder so that we will get an abundance of time and abundance of pay later on because of all the work that we've put in. So law of cause and effect. But again, you've got to kind of dig deep and get inspired. And like I said, the fact that you guys are here on this webinar, there's hundreds of people in this business, or even, probably at least almost 200, judging by how many people are on our Facebook in our Vive Success Network, BMK Brian Dalmasso line. And I know some of them are at a live event right now, which is great, but you guys are here and you're staying plugged in. You're getting a dose of this every week to keep you guys motivated, get your questions asked, mastermind, and actually spend some time blitzing. So you guys are doing half the battle. They're doing the mechanical side. But what I encourage you to do is, like I said, raise your level of enthusiasm and get excited. Like I said, I studied the products that we're offering until I got excited about them. Like I'm excited about energy. I'm excited about helping people save money. I'm excited about the fact that, 2 months from now, I'll probably be at Pacesetter because I'm trying to stay on the monthly bonuses that I'm getting. Promoter 160, I hit in my first month. I got promoter 320 in my second month. Now I'm going to promoter 650. And by now my team should start duplicating. But remember that you guys are really just focusing on your business and maybe your downline, and your upline really has to manage a lot more people. So, the more you can develop leadership skills, that's going to really help you empower your team. You want to reach out and keep in touch with these people, invite them to these webinars because, we can do that, but it's better coming from you. So, long story short here is, like I said, is I really want to help you guys understand and be comfortable with the fact that, we're selling and marketing these products and services, and people need them, and there are people out there that need this business, and they're not going to hear about it from anybody other than you and I. So that's how this business grows. And like I said, there's a lot of leverage. Like I just enrolled a guy yesterday he's already in the solar industry. He does solar for people that are low income or have a high debt to income ratio. And he helps them roll their debt and consolidate it and then buy solar, and then they're cash flow positive. So that's a big aside, but he came in and he really liked the idea of autopilot, and it's not in Rhode Island, but he says, I do have some connections in Massachusetts. And immediately, I spent a couple hours with him yesterday training him and answering his questions so he felt confident in the product. And I showed him how to immediately go out and get some customers. And he made some phone calls and he's like, I already have a guy that owns 5 Planet Fitnesses that's interested. And I said, get all his bills and find out how much kilowatt usage he has. If it's below 250,000, you can enter it on the site. If it's greater than 250,000, you got to send in a custom quote. And I said, make sure you ask him about solar. And he goes, you got it. So he's the type of person, those people are out there. And if you just go through enough people to find the people that, have a knack for this, they're in this industry, they resonate with energy, they're going to help build, a profitable line in your business. And you're going to want to keep in touch with them. And you're going to want to invite them to, again, these webinars and introduce them to your leaders and their resources, because there's a lot of resources here. And I will go ahead and share my screen because I want to make sure you guys really understand the back office. I don't know how well or how in-depth you guys were trained when you were onboarded, but I also run the meeting that is usually taking place after this. I don't know if there will be enough people because, again, everybody's at the meeting, or I don't know how many new people we have. But getting familiar with the back office, getting familiar with where your resources are, the more knowledge you guys have, the more confident you're going to be when you're marketing these products and services. And like I said, if I don't fully understand them, I might spend some time doing that. And like right now, it's like, I don't care how much time I have to put into Vive. I really don't keep track of my hours, but I just know that at the end of the day, I've milked every possible minute and hour into this business because it's blood, sweat, tears, heart, and soul. And that's really at the deepest level that you guys really need to dig deep and like I said, wake up with a purpose. Wake up and say, one day closer to Pacesetter, what am I going to do today? How many people am I committed to reaching out to? And like I said, you're going to get people that say no. You're going to get people that don't call you back. You're going to have people maybe say something that's not very nice. That's life. But, sales is one of the highest paid commission professions out there, and if you can get past some of the early phases and some of the things that aren't so pretty about the business so that you can enjoy the glory and the delayed gratification that most people won't hang on long enough to, that's kind of why we're here. And I think all of you are showing up every week and on this webinar today because you're committed. And that's what's going to separate you guys from the people that are just interested, that are just doing this for the money, but yet they're not doing the work. They're not showing up. They're not staying plugged in. They're not asking questions. They're not engaging. And then that's why they're going to have a hard time selling it, is because they're not committed and emotionally involved themselves. It's going to display in their lack of enthusiasm, their lack of conviction. But it really isn't a hard business. It's not a stressful business. You just got to get honest with yourself. And like I said, that's really who your competition is. You want to say, what am I committed to doing today? What am I going to commit to doing better? Am I going to create goals and write them down? Because that's one of the first things that book, Psychology of Selling, which is, again, what Brian and I teach on the side, is that you are 1,000 times more likely to achieve your goals when you write them down. The reason being is because when you write something down, you program it into your mind, into a part of your mind that controls your behavior. And when you write something down, you're actually starting to create a mental image of what you're writing. When we read something, we're now doing that backwards. We're creating a mental image of what we're reading and processing. So this is why it's important for you guys to be motivated, to go out and do this, because like I said, it's not hard, it's simple, may not be easy sometimes more than others, but when you're seeing results, it's motivating, and you might need to, like I said, dig a little bit deeper. If you're struggling or you're not seeing results, if you get to the end of a week and you're like, how many times did I show this business? You know what I mean? How many prospects did I talk to? How many text messages did I send out? And if you're not getting those numbers, then you really need to reach out to your upline to say, hey, what am I doing wrong? What could I be doing better? If you just commit to that, I think Stephen LaBelle was saying 1% better every day. Reaching out to one more prospect the next day than you did the day before, it's really not that hard. But if you go from 0 to 50, it's going to look like a big jump. So if we try to just aim for progress here and not perfection, that's really what's going to help you guys be successful in this type of a business. Because there are going to be challenges. There's no doubt about it, and you're going to have challenges with yourself. But you're going to break through that when you press forward, when you break through the fears and the doubts and, the bull crap stories that we tell ourselves sometimes. And when we feel like giving up because we're not getting results. Everybody has dealt with that. Everybody that's ever been a 6 or 7 figure earner or a top income earner started from square one, right where you guys are, right where even I am at. I'm not a seasoned network marketer, but excuse me, I really shortened that learning curve because I'm hungry. And I think that I'm no smarter than anybody. It's just that I'm hungry and I refuse to be behind the 8 ball, and I will do it at whatever it takes to win. And I look at this like a big game. You know, I've always been an athlete, and I look at business as just a big game. Earning money is just a game. The better you are at playing it, the more you likely are to win. You know, so you guys want to surround yourself with successful people, just like you are on these webinars, that are going to empower you, that are going to educate you and help you by providing the resources to help you succeed in this business. So I really don't want this to be a one-sided webinar, and I've kind of gabbed on for quite some time, but really I like to start these meetings with just, you know, giving you guys some actionable advice, maybe some readings that would help you, that are helping me, because I love that book already, Psychology of Selling. But again, that's what's going to separate an amateur from a professional. And obviously those two are paid very differently. So what I would like to do right now is, you know, the other half of this webinar is going to be an actual live blitz. So I want you to pull out your phones, and we're going to, you know, actually start reaching out to some people and getting you guys thinking of, you know, like, 'cause what I do is when I think of somebody or someone or some idea, I write it down immediately. It goes in my phone, or I email it to myself, or I got a Post-it note, because that's the universe giving me a clue that I'm onto something. Okay. You got to act on these ideas, and you got to take immediate action. And so that's the thing, is like when I'm thinking and I'm on a certain frequency, I'm in a position to download those ideas. That's putting that thought energy out there and connecting to the resources and the ideas. And that's why it's good to mastermind, because other people have other ideas, other experiences. So that's one of the things I highly recommend you do, is like, while we're on this webinar, is like, all we're really focusing on is how can we be more efficient? How can we reach out to more people? What are the caliber or kinds of people we should be targeting? Like, obviously, you know, you're on Shaper, you know, I have hashtag, you know, renewable energy, hashtag solar, hashtag travel, hashtag home security, hashtag sustainability, hashtag business, hashtag networking. These are all things that are going to link you to people with those interests. And I'm starting to see now that Shaper is connecting me to people in that industry. Now, LinkedIn, I remember when I was in a business like this, I would target people that are in the electrical industry or energy, period. I would target people that are in solar, people that are construction workers, people that are roofers, people that are real estate agents. Because again, these people are all business owners. They sell, they get clients. They're not opposed to selling. Okay. Excuse me. But when you can show somebody, again, value add is, hey, as a realtor, you could now, you know, go back to your clients and show them how you can save money on their utilities. You can go back to anybody that has bought a home from you that might want to monetize their roof, you know, through solar. Or again, we're big into commercial solar right now, where we actually pay companies to put solar on their roof. They literally rent out their roof almost like a rental unit in a house, except there's no tenant. The tenant is the sunlight, okay? And they're just cash flow positive right away. So
do you know what states you can do commercial solar in?
What?
Do you know what states commercial solar is available in?
Yeah, so let me that's a good question. Let me share my screen here. I'm going to show you guys some resources in your back office. So what I would one of the things, I know I'm just kind of blotting things out there, but some of the things that I share that I think would be helpful is, when you guys sign a new consultant, I would program their contact info, their name, their email, even as much as what their consultant ID is, but also their website handle, because you might be taprooting down underneath and it'll save you from having to ask them later. That's just an organization piece. Now, I would get familiar with what your website, which, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
So this is what your website looks like. This is my website here, jennygogreen.justvive. You want to get familiar with what your website looks like from a prospect's standpoint, okay? Because you're only logging in to see, you know, your private information and stuff. But if we go here and we say start shopping, this is going to take us to where the products are. And I'm going to go back in a minute and answer your question about commercial solar. But so this is how a client would see this. And right now, I know for a fact that Home Secure has a video on this page, and I'm working to, like I said, get a video on every single page So you guys can literally share this with your prospects and they can just click play. Boom. You don't have to share a YouTube video and your personal link. Okay, so all of our services are here. So you're going to want to look at Medicall. Click on it. Eventually, you'll, like I said, in our private Facebook group, okay, now they're starting to say, okay, good, watch the video, okay? So they're listening. So this is something you might want to read and take notes on until you memorize the selling points. Check this out. These are the selling points right there for you. No appointment charge, copays, great savings on prescriptions. Check this out, okay? And like I said, remember, is for you guys that don't know this, is like I said, every one of these services comes with its own charge. But when you choose 3 or more of those 7, you save 50% on each. And when you choose all 7, you save 65% and get them all for $10. So that's the value add here, is we can bundle these and save them, because they could go to just a medical company and pay just this, but they can't bundle it because they're only doing medical.
If you were doing a restaurant signed up, because, waiters and waitresses, even the back staff, some of them, they don't have benefits.
Yep.
If you were going to do medical, does that have to be by individual?
I believe it might cover a whole entire family. There might be up to 5 people. See, okay. Right here, up to 5 family members covered. It's not emergency services, and it's not meant to replace health insurance. And I don't know where that person is, but I'm pretty sure you're mandated to have health insurance in the U.S. now.
Yeah, well, they say that. A lot of people still don't in my area.
Yeah. So. Well, they're going to get dinged on their taxes if they don't prove that they have coverage. But yeah, I mean, this is again a good thing for them to have that 24-hour access. So you might want to kind of understand a little bit about these points right here that kind of sum up what are the points right here. Excuse me. Now, if we go up here to products, this is going to teach you all about autopilot. This is going to teach you about commercial solar. And this is going to tell you a little bit about it. And then somebody can request a quote. How does it all work? Brian's going to kill me he doesn't want people to get really confused with solar, because it's a bit of a learning curve, and these things take a bit of time, so it might not help you for Pacesetter. That's why they don't want people, like put in a couple quotes, requests for quotes, but you want to find out, does this person qualify? There's a way to, submit a lead here. Let's just go to Massachusetts, because I know that they're a state. I think you have to go somewhere down here, somewhere. I don't usually do it this way, so forgive me. I don't know the exact process.
On the state, if it doesn't take you to a page that says that it's available, I mean, it's just not available in that state.
Well, I know this is what I have here, and this is
real estate, and I'm working with commercial real estate in my area.
Okay. I'll show you something I have here. Where are we? So if you go to asssocenergy.com/education, AED is the solar partner, okay? And this is where you can learn about some of the incentives about solar, and then these are the hot states. Massachusetts being the best, because every state, like I said, this is where it gets really confusing, is you guys don't really have to know this, but you can submit a lead, and AED will tell you, is it viable? They'll send you a helioscope. And then you can, communicate with the person and just find out if they're interested in more information. And then basically you want to just pass them off to AED. And there is a website that is here where you go to asssocenergy.com/Vive, where you would click here to submit a conceptual review. And then you would want to put all this information in. Okay. And that's pretty straightforward. Name, address, email, your Vive contact information. And then I always say, yes, send me a copy, because I want to keep track of what I sent in. So that's just real quick about solar. But these states for here, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, and Maryland, which is not on here. Maryland is a state that offers solar, but like I said, right now Massachusetts is the best state, and it just so happens that's where Associated Energy Develops is based out of, my home state. Woohoo. Connecticut's okay. That's where our headquarters for Vive is out of. But these states are really the ones you want to focus on. I think solar is actually nationwide, but again, not all the states have great incentives. Massachusetts is highly incentivized, and they just don't have a lot of rules and red tape. Excuse me. So that's where you'd want to learn more about solar, is those two links. So ASSOCenergy.com/education, and then ASSOCenergy.com/Vive is where you could submit a solar lead. But this is a great place to learn about solar opportunities. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. But again, when you guys get familiar with your back office, like what does it look like to a customer, is if somebody wants more information, this is my website. If I wanted to just send, I just want to make sure you guys know where to get your links. If I wanted to send somebody information about, let's see, I'll go home. So if I go to my website, and I go to start shopping, like I said, if somebody likes to travel or they want more information on travel, you would want to click Getaway, and you would want to copy this link, text it to them. Because that way there, if they sign up, here again, they can watch the video. I think they listen to me. They put all the videos on our pages now. So that way there, when you share this link, this is your unique link, excuse me, they can watch the video, and then all the information is here, okay? The video does all the talking, right? And then they could, if they enrolled right here, you'll get credit. Now, one of the things I meant to teach people about that I didn't get to on that other one is we have I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Boomerang, but it's a link you might want to go in and share. And the way you would do that is you can scroll down on your home page and you go to Getaway, which is going to take you to the Getaway portal. And Boomerang is a free link that you can share with anybody. And they get free savings because it's not a paid service. It's free for them. And say if they save $100, you get what they save, but in rewards points. So you get 100 rewards points. All right. So this is what it looks like when you're a paid customer. You search for the destination. It's very similar to Expedia. You can tell what am I searching for up here. But if you go to Boomerang Rewards, share with your friends, and then you can send an email this way, and you put in their name and you put their email address, and it sends them a link right through their email. Or you could copy this link and share it on social media. Okay. So this is your unique link. Okay. 50% for you. Earn 50% of the savings and rewards credits when your friends book hotels. Okay. All right. So and then you can watch a video here to learn more about it. But that's a cool little thing most people wouldn't know about. And the other thing I wanted to mention is when we are shopping on this website here, our prices include the taxes. Unlike Expedia, where you don't look at the taxes and fees until it's like you're in the checkout. So a lot of times they make it look like their prices are lower until you get to the end and you get an extra X amount in taxes and fees. So that's how those public sites get you. Excuse me. So that's what I'm saying is know where your resources are. I mean, this is just, one way you get to your travel portal, but, all your resources are located here if you need them. You can search by marketing tools, anything you want to see that's in here. And obviously we have our YouTube channel, Vive Success Network. We have our Facebook group. I'm sure you guys know all this already. I just want to make sure you know where your resources are. Does anybody else have any questions at all?
I have another question. If you don't like some of the material with the way that it reads and stuff, like just with the Home Secure, there's some stuff that is confusing. And I'm curious, do we have to use the Vive stuff that's in the resource library, or can we create our own?
I believe you could create your own, like, it depends what you mean, like marketing materials. Like as long as you don't put Vive on it, or the logos, I think you can. That's something you'd want to just run by the support department. But usually I might send like something. I don't do a lot of like sending information. I might send them links, but like I usually try to just do it over the phone and answer them, because the thing is, everybody's bombarded with information. It's not more information they need, it's more value. So if they say, yeah, send me some information, that's a fancy way of saying, like, I don't have time for this right now, or I don't have enough to make a decision. It's not like they're going to go scour the website and read what we send them. It's just that we need to make it more concise. So again, like my brother, I know he wants the home security, and he's just kind of tinkering around it. And I'm like, well, you need it. You have, you don't want to leave your wife home alone. You have guns in the house. It makes sense. So it's like, okay, he doesn't need more information. He knows everything. He knows he needs it. He knows what the price is. So close the deal. So, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, you can feel free to, like, if you're sending something to somebody, you could summarize home secure yourself, or you could copy and paste something into like a Word document and say, here's the information on home secure. Just make sure you don't change it to something that isn't correct. Does that make sense? Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, Jen, how you doing? This is Joe. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering, you mentioned earlier in terms of you were using Shaper and LinkedIn. Could you kind of cover what you find most effective in terms of utilizing social media and stuff?
So sometimes like the most effective things for posting on social media are posts that get engagement, like no call to action, but just would entice somebody to comment on it. Like, excuse me. Like for travel, if you were marketing travel, you might want to say, hey, me and my family, we're taking a vacation here, and we just found this new travel club and saved, $400 on our first booking,
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you say. Don't say PM me for details or message me, or here's a link for you to sign up. Like you want it to be like more of like a post that you would just share out of, hey, this is awesome. Like we're going on vacation and we save this much money,
Yeah, and I see a corporate added like some blogs on the front end there that you can share as well from your from your back office page there. And if you go down there, it'll actually put your link in there. So that's pretty nice.
Yep. And like even if you were to go on like Facebook groups that are, like when I was in this other company, Veridian, like I would search for travel pages, and I would, people would, you would comment on threads, but you don't want to hijack it, but you just want to, casually mention to people like, where's your next destination? Where do you usually book your travel? Have you ever heard of this before? And then you share what it is, That way you're not just leading with, hey, check this out.
Check this out. Right here.
Be my customer, or like I said, is, home secure is great when you find people like I'm not in real estate. I really don't have any profession other than Vive that warrants me to sell home security. I mean, I know homeowners, but I started with my friends and family. Like my sister owns a house, my brother owns a house, my parents own a house. And you just think, who do I know that owns a home that would want to protect themselves? Because you're not selling a home security system, you're selling protection. And same thing, insurance agents, the best insurance agents are not going out there selling insurance, they're going out there selling protection. So really, like I said, what we're offering here is ways for people to protect themselves, to protect their family, their identity, their cars, their computers, data. It's protection that we're really offering. And I'm trying to think, because like what I do is usually on Shaper is, when I see somebody that's in a state that has autopilot, I'm immediately thinking, good business partner, because they're in a state, or, solar partner, because I'm obviously really big into solar right now. But, I usually look, are they into real estate? Are they into construction? Because these are the tags that I have. They connect me with people in those industries. So yeah, for Shaper, like I use that primarily for prospecting for the business. So I'm thinking, would they be a good business partner? Would they be a good referral source? I might talk to them, if, like I said, if they're in a state with autopilot, I might say, hey, we have this amazing energy product that's really going to disrupt the market, like kind of like Airbnb and Uber did. And I'm not sure if it's something maybe you yourself could use, but it takes all the hassles out of Shopping around for energy guarantees the savings so that you never have to switch again, or shop around. But those people know people, and if you say, I usually ask, tell me a little bit about yourself, and how I'd like to see how I can help you, or set up mutual referral sources. That's the key word. I want to set, they're like, why are you here? What are you using Shipper? I'm here to, learn what opportunities are out there. And I'm going to help people through setting up mutual referral sources, because they want business. I want business. How can we help each other? So, you're there to kind of meet and greet. It's a quick intro, and like I said, there's a lot of people out there that put no MLM on their profile. They don't want to be pitched, so you respect that. But there's a lot of people out there, like, hey, I'm a student, just graduated college, looking for new opportunities. They don't understand what's out there. That's a great time for you to say, hey, I've got an opportunity. It seems like you're open to, new opportunities. I'd love to share, what I do and see if it resonates. Get on a call. I don't do a lot of like sharing information through a text. Here's a link. I talk to them first, and then if they need more information, I have that available. And I save these templates to make it easier to just copy and paste to other people who ask the same thing. I even have templates like for people about autopilot. A lot of people, they say, send me more info. So I have the 2-page autopilot fact sheet in the video, and then I just write a little blurb about what it is and what's the selling points. Buying by aggregation, cheapest prices on the market, even those that aren't publicly advertised. Removes the hassles from shopping, never have to switch again. Those are, kind of just the bullet points. But yeah, as far as social media, I think the best two I would say right now are LinkedIn and Shaper, because they're more professional, whereas, Facebook's there for social purposes. But it's good because some people have a lot of success with, like, when you post something and you want somebody to see it, if they're on your friends list and you want to tag them in that post. You could share just the travel video and just tag some people in it and be like, oh, just wanted you to see this, thought you'd enjoy this, or, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So there's many different ways that you can go about doing that. And like I said, get creative, like go to Facebook groups that are travel based or environmentally friendly Facebook groups. Another great, customer for like autopilot might be like churches or schools, that really need the savings. They're always cutting budgets, and stuff. So if you just said, I'm just going to target gas stations. I'm going to just start calling gas stations and just say, hey, who manages your energy? Who's your facility manager? You can, like, I don't go to people I know. I cold call, or I go into supermarkets or something and just talk to people. It's like, I have to get rid of that initial fear of doing that. And the way I do that is by doing it over and over again, even though I don't want to, and it's uncomfortable sometimes. But then you'll meet some people that are actually really nice, and it makes it all worth it, because, when you get somebody to say yes, it's a pretty good feeling. And then you ask that person for referrals, because the other benefit of autopilot is that we do have a referral program for our customers. And I asked corporate again to create a referral for the other products and services, because again, that's going to help your business spread even without you doing the work. You just make a sale and keep your customers happy, and they're going to want to refer you. So I would say, yeah, my top two are Shaper and LinkedIn. There's plenty of ways to prospect. You can go to, meetups, BNIs, networking groups. BNIs are great because when you've got a seat, everybody's, that you're there to refer, and you kind of have to, and you show up, and it's a committed thing. Where are you from, Joe?
New York. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, actually, I've been doing the BNI pretty regular, because they allow also you to visit the first 2 times. So I've been doing the chapters, but I think it's a good organization for that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is, like, right now I said, when I go through like my warm market, I'll be much more open to, going to like BNIs or meetups and stuff, but like I've got enough keeping me busy right now. But like I said, that's why when you guys, like, this is your business, and what you want to teach and train your new incoming people to do is to duplicate, to help them get their first couple of appointments and start them on that 11-step fast track, because they'll duplicate that down, and then you're not going to be getting phone calls all the time from people that don't know what they're doing, and they're not doing it right, and they don't know where their resources are, and you're just babysitting people. Like I said, that guy I signed last night, I spent the time to enroll him and orient him properly, to the point where, like I said, he was excited to go out and talk to people, and he did it immediately. A called me today. He's like, I got this person, this person, this person. I'm like, wow, you're on fire, you know? So he's motivated. You know, he really believes in the product and he did his due diligence to learn about it. But like I said, when you can get people that already speak the language of energy, those are your business partners. Those are the low hanging fruit. So like I said, anyone and everyone could do this business, that wants to, you know, learn how to market it. And like I said, it's not hard. It's not stressful. But it does require somebody that's committed and somebody that can delay that gratification. Because most people, you know, like I said, they got the employee mindset and they don't understand how this business operates. And like, you know, why are they only making $2.50? It's like, yeah, that will grow, you know, but you've got to put in your time. You got to plant some more seeds and you got to water and nurture this garden, this business, you know, and yourself. Because if we don't experience growth along the way in any business, our income's not going to grow. Because if you're the same person you are today as you are a year from now, you probably won't really grow very much, and neither will your income. Because you didn't change. And even Einstein said you can't solve a problem on the same level of thinking that caused it. So you've got to elevate, you know, yourself and operate at a higher level. Because yes, this business does have the potential to earn 6 and 7 figures, but not if you don't learn, not if you don't try and get out of that comfort zone and like I said, really search for people and become the ideal person you're searching for, because you'll find people, you know, of the same paradigms and with the same objections, and, you know, you'll run in circles. But that's, you know, we have about, you know, 10 minutes here, and I'll go over if I have to, because like I said, I know we might have some new people on that next webinar, but does anybody else have any questions or anything that, you know, you think you could be doing better and you want me to hold you accountable to? Anything, Steven? Looking at you. No? Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions? Pick my brain. What do I do? How do I do it? What do I say?
Hi, Jenny. It's Rose.
Hey, Rose. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much. I wanted to find out those 11 steps you mentioned.
Yep. So that was, I think you and I went over that during that fast training, but what I'll do is, you guys can still see my screen, so I'll forward that to you right now. So,
okay.
This is organization, guys. This is like all of these file folders. Like I said, know where your resources are. And when you have something, email it to yourself and then file it somewhere. So it's like, I know exactly where to get what she's looking for here. Because I got resources. Where is it? Right here. Okay. So we go, boom, Sophia. Sophia, what's your email? The new one?
Yeah, it was under just rose.delao@gmail.com.
Okay, boom. There you go.
Thank you.
So Rose, for you, like I said, since you're one of my newer people, is I want you to start, like I said, you're out there already prospecting for TIR, and I want you to keep your eyes peeled for people that, like I said, you know, are looking for a business or an opportunity, or like I said, some of those people that I mentioned that are in, you know, a similar industry,
Mm-hmm.
that have access to homeowners that, you know, can market these products and services. And like I said, some people, you might want to just focus on home security and energy. They may not want to have anything to do with the other 7 services. So like I said, tell them you can pick and choose. If you want to build your business purely on travel, forget everything else. Just go crazy with travel, you know, or, you know, if you're not that hot about any one service, then don't worry about it. You know what I mean? We're really just looking, like I said, for progress and to help people leverage their network. Because like I said, I started with my family. My brother and my sister are in this business. You know, I got solar quotes for all of them. And I would never do that unless I 100% believed in, you know, the viability of what we offer. You know, they're all autopilot customers. They're all getting paid on their own accounts. Again, my brother wants the home security. And then I just put, you know, some business partners under him because I'm helping them, you know, and I'm motivated to help my family, you know, because I want them to get to Pacesetter too and have that nice paycheck and not have to worry, because my sister works in the medical field. My brother works for the prison system and they hate their jobs. So, you know, there's not really anything else out there, and nobody wants to go back to college because that's kind of useless nowadays. But for you, Sophia, like I said, you want to start thinking about, you know, who could be my first couple of people that I could go to about, you know, maybe angling this as a customer. And then maybe that customer or that person might say, well, you know, how could I do what you do? Or you want to just leave it at them. Hey, if you ever have any interest in learning how to build a business and do what I do, I'm happy to show that to you. But when you get a customer, that's the best time to say, who else do you know that could benefit from these services? Ask for 5 referrals. that the best time to ask for referrals is when you've sold somebody. And even if somebody says, you know what, Jenny, I like the travel program, but it's not for me. Like, okay, well, do you know anybody that it would be for? You have the right to ask for referrals when you do close somebody, or even when someone says no. Say, well, you know what, thank you for being honest with me. Do you know anybody else that I could contact in your network that I could help? Okay, or that would want to do this as a business, that needs, you know, a side income like this. Because again, but that's the thing, is anybody you ask, sometimes you might approach somebody and say, you know what, I wasn't really thinking of you, but I was just wondering, do you know any realtors? Do you know anybody? Because like I said, you only know so many people, but you know people that know people. And even if they're not a good business partner, they have a network. I might contact a friend of mine and say, hey, do you know any businesses? Do you have any connections to businesses? I'm looking for solar leads. I'll give you a commission, you know? And I'll be like, hey, if you want to be my business partner, you could get the whole commission yourself. Hey, let's talk. Hey, that's a good conversation opener, you know? So like I said, you always want to be creative about thinking about more than just the one person you're texting, because they know hundreds of people. They have a network. And if they don't want to monetize it and do the business and have their own franchise, or they don't like network marketing, blah, 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 you can, if you're friends with them, ask them to open their network up to you. You know, like I said, you believe 100% in what you're doing, you'd sign your parents up for it. You'd sign your relatives up for it, your friends, because you believe in what you're doing. Like I have no reservations about, you know, reaching out to people I know. So that's a good question. So Rose, like I said, that's what I wanted to do with you. I know we got on the Fast Start training, and I really just wanted you to be able to use that document, those 11 steps, to use those pages to actually start writing those names down. You know how powerful writing things down is.
Sure.
So start thinking about who could be your first couple business partners. You know, who could use a business like this? Who's looking for an opportunity like you were? You know what I mean?
Yep. Thank you.
And I love this business because of leverage, residual income and leverage. Okay, the more I can leverage myself, the better. The more I can empower other people to build their business and duplicate what I'm doing, get on my level of enthusiasm, that's a win-win, okay?
Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else have questions? Got a couple more minutes here. Excuse me. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap it up here, but you know, obviously, like I said, you guys use your resources. If you guys have questions for me, you know, some of you guys, if you don't have my phone number, I'm accessible on Facebook. I'm on the Facebook page, Vive Success Network. I'm very happy to answer anybody's questions, because, you know, the question you don't ask, you know, is costing you, you know, what the knowledge that you need to break through to do what you need to do in this business. Okay. So like I said, you guys aren't alone here. We're all a big family and a team, and we want to support everybody and make sure you feel supported and that you're not all alone. Because it can be a lonely business. You know, you're doing it from home. You're not surrounded by people physically, but the more you can immerse yourself in this, and like I said, trust the process. Because like I said, I got, you know, a commercial autopilot, and then I asked him for a referral, and he goes, yeah, I have a dairy farmer that's, you know, just getting buried in electricity. And he signed up too. So I said, you know, that was just me leveraging his network, you know, and I'm going to meet with him again tomorrow, and he's going to sign up like 3 or 4 residentials, his own meter and his sister's, because he really likes what we do. And then I'm going to ask them people to, who else would you think would like to use this service and save? Okay. So that's how you're going to build your business. These are people, like I said, you just need to build up enough people to start getting referrals. You know what I mean? But there's plenty of avenues online. There's plenty of ways, you know, you can start looking. Like I told people, follow Tom Big Al Schreider on Facebook. You know, he really puts out a lot of good tidbits about how to talk to prospects. Okay, because there's an art to this, and if you're not good at it, you can learn if you're committed to learning. But if you don't think you can learn, if your confidence is low, you're not going to be very good at it. You know, and that's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to fix it if you want to build a successful business or do anything to any level of success in life. Is really dependent on your belief in yourself, your confidence level, and your ability to believe you can learn, and your commitment level. So those are just the bare basics. But like I said, you know, primary, you know, courses of action here is to just take massive action. Talk to people. The more people you talk to, even by law of averages, you're going to get more people. But if you go to bed every night knowing that you didn't reach out to the goal you set for yourself, like, how motivating is that going to be the next day when your subconscious is telling you, you didn't even do what you were supposed to do yesterday? Why do you keep doing that to yourself? Why are you doing this at all? You got to remind yourself why you're doing this, because Pacesetter is worth it. Pacesetter is worth waking up every day, motivated to get there, to say, listen, I am, closing this month and I'm this many points away from hitting that next rank to stay on track. You know what I mean? That's why you've got to keep your eye on the prize. And if you don't know how to look in your back office and what the numbers means and what you got to do to rank advance, and reach out to your upline. That's what we're there for. Use your resources. But I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. And like I said, if you need anything at all, even outside of this webinar, I don't want you to wait till next week to get that question answered. Tag me on the Facebook post, because again, 9 times out of 10, everybody's got the same question, and I can answer it, and multiple people can see it, and you can tag people in your team that you would want to see posts. But I'm going to be taking a more active role, and Lisa Kennedy, to make sure, like, I'm going to be responsible for posting the recordings for these meetings and just making sure that our people get on these webinars. But it's everybody needs to take action, because if nobody does, nobody goes anywhere. It's all about action in this business, and it's all about teamwork, and it's all about strategy, commitment. So, I'll leave you guys tonight with, like I said, there was one person on here that I recommended he get the book Psychology of Selling, and he started reading it that night. And I said, that's massive action. That tells me that he's committed. He's not going to say, oh yeah, that's a great book. Sometimes I recommend books to people and they're like, oh, cool. I should nod their head. I'm like, they didn't write it down. How are they going to remember? If somebody recommends me a book, like I said, I instantly write it down somewhere, because that obligates me to look at it, to put it on a list of books when I'm ready to go shop around, because I have a laundry list of books. But like, I started the book, and I commit to doing a little bit of reading every day to get that 1% better, okay, at learning how to sell, at learning how to communicate, at learning how to listen. Because most of us are good at talking. We're not good at listening. Like I said, a sales exchange is a transfer of emotion, a transfer of belief. And when we can neutralize our prospects' minds and help them see the benefit, moving them away from the pain of XYZ and the pleasure of XYZ, then the answer will be yes. You've got to learn how to close the sale, not just share information, be like, yeah, I'll call you in 2 weeks. It's not right. That's not how you do it. You know what I mean? Follow up and lead generation are the 2 biggest things most network marketers struggle with. So if you're
embarrassing when you do that. I'm not sure. Say
that again? Oh, I think that was a mistake. Sorry. Somebody didn't unmute. Okay. Well, again, I'm done rambling. I hope you guys, got a couple good nuggets out of this. But like I said, if you need anything, feel free to reach out on any of the channels that we have. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and I will talk to you soon. See you next week.
Thanks, Jen. Great stuff.
My pleasure.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.